Hey, what's up? This is JM, host of the Celebrity Grill podcast on iTunes, and you're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Network. All barbecue and grilling, all the time.
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike the match, and... Oh, should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
Welcome to the Barbecue Central Show, the show where we talk about all things that are important in the world of barbecue. From big-name interviews with competitors on the barbecue circuit, grill manufacturers and pit makers, to advice on cooking brisket and ribs. You'll find it all right here on the Barbecue Central Show. Your host, Greg Rempe, is a backyard barbecue and grilling fanatic and loves to talk about his passion, which many of us share together. You can learn more about barbecue and grilling by visiting the website, thebbqcentral.com. Now, let's get in the smoke. Here's your program host, Greg Rempe.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Barbecue Central Show. Yeah, it's a show where we talk about all things important to the world of barbecue and grilling. A fantastic Tuesday evening to you, wherever you may be. This show originates from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city of Cleveland, Ohio, commonly referred to as the barbecue capital of the North Coast. Happy to have you. I'm your program host, Greg Rempe, and we are broadcasting live via direct, not only countrywide, but globally, internationally here on the Barbecue Central Radio Networks. That's because it's internet radio. Internet radio is not confined to regions of the country where you need to be syndicated through a bunch of different radio stations, stuff like that. No. All you have to do is have an internet feed anywhere across the fruited plain and across the fruited globe. You can pick up the Barbecue Central Show. Again, happy to have you aboard. Let me give you some contact information in case you want to jump in tonight. You can call toll-free at any point, 877-448-0433. You can also email the show if you want to, bbqcentralradio@gmail.com. Those are the two ways to get in touch with the show tonight. And again, invite you to do so. Love to get your thoughts about whatever's good in your world of the barbecue and grilling stuff. Here's what's coming up on the show tonight. In about 12 minutes, we're going to be joined by Mike Peters. Mike and his wife, Chris, are part of the KCBS Barbecue Tour. I believe they're in their second season. This was something that MMA, I believe, had a hand in developing and launching, and from all accounts have been very successful. So we'll talk to Mike, see how he got involved with the Barbecue Tour and kind of what they do, what one could expect at the KCBS Barbecue Tour if you show up when they pull into your town. So that'll be Mike Peters coming up about 14 past the hour. 34 past, friend of the show. He's been on a number of times. It's Jason Day, one half of the dynamic duo that make up the Barbecue Addicts. You'll, of course, remember that the Barbecue Addicts released that 5,000-pound pork gargantuan beast of the bacon explosion. They're coming up on 2 years now, I believe. So they've had raging success with the barbecue, or with the bacon explosion, and certainly they are doing very well with that. And the success of the bacon explosion and the viralicity of it all has launched them into even more fame, and that enabled them to write or pen a cookbook deal. So we're going to be talking to the new author of, I believe the book is called Barbecue Makes Everything Better. A great title, by the way. Jason Day from the Barbecue Addicts coming up at about 13:04 past the hour. And then, of course, we have the 4-segment free-for-all, your chance to win fun and fabulous prize giveaways. For free, I might add. It's all free, graciously donated by show sponsors. You have the prizes that include frog mats, the wood smoke products from Greenleaf Barbecue, Cosmos Q injection pack. We have the Pete's Firehouse barbecue rubs. It's a 2-pack. Very good stuff. And, of course, we have the 2 easy hooks that are also up for grabs tonight from Marsha Fox and the good folks over at bbqhooks.com. They remind you that you're not cooking unless you're hooking. Las Vegas, that's a whole different meaning, but I digress. So look for that 4-segment free-for-all, and that is always hosted by your favorite and mine, Harry Carey, who makes post-mortem celebrity appearances right here in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city. Bet you didn't know that. You'll hear him right about 10 till the hour. So that's 4-segment free-for-all. After Dark, huge lineup in the second hour. We're going to be talking with Conrad Haskins. Yes, he is a show sponsor. He does the Barbecue Institute. Does a lot of classes in Texas, does a lot of classes over in Seattle. but has since branched out here recently, and we'll have a couple other classes coming up here across the country. He took part in the competition over in Rochester, New York, now 2 weeks ago, where he took Reserve Grand Champion. Reason I wanted to have him on, not because he's a show sponsor, but because it was kind of a unique way of getting that Reserve Grand Championship. He had quite a substantial layoff, which we'll get into here in the second hour when we have him on, and was able to really just kind of show up, buy his stuff locally, compete on a cooker that he didn't have really any type of familiarity with, aside from the age of the cooker. What he used to fuel it, where he bought the meats, all that stuff, really kind of a unique story, and he was able to walk away with Reserve Grand Championship at the Rock City Rib Fest in Rochester, New York. So that'll be Conrad Haskins, the first part of After Dark, and then secondly, the most hotly anticipated segment of After Dark here in recent memory, we're going to be having Gary Notley and Clint Cantwell from Smoke and DI, Gary Notley from Notley Q. He's been on the show before. They're going to be discussing, kind of in a point-counterpoint type fashion, the hiring of Kevin Roberts as the new host of TLC's Barbecue Pitmaster show, which has been picked up for a second season. And we're going to, pardon me, beeping all over the place. We're going to be talking with them and kind of getting their opinions. And they're going to be on different sides of the fence. Clint is a pro Kevin. Gary is the antithesis of Clint when it comes to being pro Kevin. We'll also get their thoughts about the format change, what they feel or how they feel that might affect the audience that might be coming back, if that will increase or decrease the potential new people coming into the show as well. So that's going to be lots of great fun for everyone. So stick around for the second hour. Again, Conrad Haskins coming up first part, and then Clint Cantwell of Smoke and Die Barbecue, Gary Notley of Notley Q will be facing off in the point-counterpoint. And again, your phone calls and emails are welcome. 877-448-0433 is the number to call in. bbqcentralradio@gmail.com is the email address. Now, a lot of you were wondering, Rempy, where do you fall out on the Kevin Roberts travesty that took place over Memorial Day? Well, for those of you that didn't see it, you could go to CNBC or whatever, or the videos that you can get in the archived form of their various segments, and I believe this took place on Memorial Day. I didn't even know that they had a host, or there was going to be a quote-unquote host of Season 2 until I was told so by Lester Holt, journalist extraordinaire. And here's this guy, Kevin Roberts. Never heard of him. He goes by the Food Dude, whatever that means. And where I was finding some history on him, obviously the internet, he was a hopeful for the next great Food Network star, whatever that is, on Food Network. I believe he was cut in the first or second week. I believe he's written a couple books. He does a lot of college touring. But he, within a 3-minute segment, he pretty much broke a number of cardinal rules that any true barbecue enthusiast and fanatic would hold near and dear. Lots of cardinal sins out there, to include really sweatering up a rack of ribs with yellow mustard, saying that somehow held in juiciness or made the bones succulent. And then, of course, the mother of all things that you never want to say when it comes to barbecue is that you boil the ribs, and he made very clear that you would boil it in beer for a nice, smoky, robust flavor. Now, look, I'm no chef, and certainly that's going to offend a certain number of diehard barbecue people. But look, he got people to talk about the show. He got people to talk about him. He's going to be part of the show. And from what I understand about media, any publicity is good publicity as long as they're spelling your name right. So it might be best left to the experts that are going to be coming up here in the second hour to really weigh in on this, because I don't really have a dog in this in this race. I don't have a pony in this race. You know who didn't have a pony in any race on Saturday? That was Harry the Horse, for crying out loud. Where were my horses at, Harry? A quick reminder about Yoder's Smoky Mountain Barbecue, the leading online distributor of Meadow Creek barbecue equipment. These barbecue smokers, pig roasters, and chicken cookers and grills are handcrafted in the Amish country of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and their goal is to give you outstanding value for the price and help you enjoy easy and profitable barbecues for years to come. And they also carry a complete line of wonderful barbecue rubs and sauces. You have to get on your computer, check them out on the interwebs, hook up with their cookers, sauces, and rubs by visiting Serious BBQs. That's BBQS, SeriousBBQs.com. It's the good folks at Yoder's Smoky Mountain Barbecue. I'm going to step away, get Mike Peters from the KCBS Barbecue Tour, and we'll be right back. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show right here on the Barbecue Central Radio Networks.
barbecue fans travel from all over the country and the world to learn the secrets of real pit barbecue from Grand Champion Pitmaster Conrad Haskins. Now take your skills to the next level with a Barbecue Institute Pitmaster class. You'll learn how to make sauces, rubs, and smoke mouth-watering barbecue every time you cook. Your new skills will impress friends and family. Internet forums, blogs, and Facebook are full of success stories from our graduates. Upcoming classes locations include Rock City Rib Fest, Rochester, New York, Lexington, Massachusetts, Lane Factory Test Kitchen in Georgia, Fort Worth, Texas, Fredericksburg, Texas, Houston, Texas, Monroe, Washington, and Kennewick, Washington. For more information, class dates, and contests we'll be competing in, visit www.bbqclass.com. That's bbqclass.com.
Broadcasting live from the Barbecue Central Radio Network studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
Welcome back. About 14 past the hour. This portion of the Barbecue Central Show brought to you by the good folks over at the Barbecue Guru, makers of automatic pit temperature control devices, not to mention a host of other products that make your barbecue and grilling life easier. Two ways to find them. Call them on the phone. Toll free 800-288-GURU, 800-288-GURU, or you can visit them on the interwebs at thebbqguru.com. It's the good folks over at the Barbecue Guru. All right, Centralites, we love the barbecue classes. We love anything that has to do with barbecue, really. That's why we tune into the show. That's why I do the show. That's why I decided to have my next guest on. He's part of a very unique tour that happens via the KCBS, and I believe MMA as well. So we'll go ahead and race over to the hotlines and welcome in for the first time Mike Peters, pitmaster of Here Piggy Piggy Barbecue. Mike, how you doing tonight?
Hey, Greg, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for coming on tonight, talking about the KCBS Barbecue Tour. Mike, before we get into that, maybe you could give us a brief background about yourself and kind of how you got into this whole barbecue thing.
We actually had a free entry at our very first contest. The company I worked for was a major sponsor, and in 2 weeks' time, we came up with a barbecue recipe and all that, and it was kind of funny, the old pitmaster sitting around that's been doing it for years, and we thought we had our stuff down, and we got a call, which was the worst thing to happen, because then we were hooked, and we've been cooking ever since.
All right, so you have some competition experience behind you. You started Here Piggy Piggy Barbecue. You know, names always fascinate me. Any form or any reason why the name is Here Piggy Piggy?
Well, our very first team name was 2000 a boar, because it was myself, my wife, and a lady friend of ours, and I wanted it to be called a chick, a sow, and a stud because of the three competition meets, and my wife was nice enough to say, honey, you're not really a stud, so we decided on 2 sows and a boar, but one of my sows has flown the coop, so it's just my wife and I cooking, and the Here Piggy Piggy would just kind of fit, so it works for us.
There you go, Mike Peters, pitmaster of Here Piggy Piggy Barbecue Team and part of the KCBS Barbecue Tour. So, Mike, let's go ahead and get into that here for a few minutes, or at least for the rest of the conversation, I suppose. In a general sense, what's the KCBS Barbecue Tour, and what could one expect if they attend an event where you guys are at?
Well, it's a matter, we go to 25 different barbecue festivals and competitions throughout the country. We've been to a Memphis in May, we've been to an IBCA, we've been to KCBS, we've been to we'll be at 2 state fairs this year. It's a matter of promoting the message of the Kansas City Barbecue Society, which is promoting barbecue as America's cuisine. So any place that we can go, we try to do that. It's big venues, 700,000 people out in Sparks, Nevada at the Best in the West. It's small venues. We'll be in Wichita, Kansas this weekend, and a nice little event in Old Cowtown. So it's promoting barbecue, and MMA has been great to go out and find sponsors to foot the bill to help us do that. So at every location, we definitely promote our sponsors, but we're always talking barbecue and promoting the Kansas City Barbecue Society. So
when MMA and KCBS decided to go ahead and launch this barbecue tour, was it something that you had an immediate interest in? And how did you actually go about applying and getting this position?
We we actually, it was interesting because Ernie and Linda Poland were the very first tour couple, retired couple. Ernie and Linda have been contest reps for years, and so they were the first couple to run the tour. They decided fairly soon afterwards that it was a lot of work and decided that they wanted to go back to repping in retirement. So I saw it online. I was actually, after our local event, they had asked me, the local TV station had asked about a recipe to do a TV spot. And I said, well, I'll go to the website, I'll find one, and saw the link, and I think I was the first one to answer the email about the new tour team, and it just kind of went really, really quick from then.
Now, for the people that are listening, and by the way, we're talking with Mike Peters. He's part of the KCBS Barbecue Tour and pitmaster of Here Piggy Piggy Barbecue. What kind of a time investment is it on your part? Are you out every weekend, and is this kind of like your full-time gig?
We travel and do the tour from middle of March through middle of this year, middle of November. So we'll be out on the road for about 8 months. We have time off. Our oldest daughter got married 2 weekends ago, I guess, so we had scheduled to be off Memorial Day weekend. We head out actually tomorrow for Wichita, and we will be traveling for the next 7 weeks, most of it on the road, and then home for, I think, 1 weekend, and then gone for another 7 weeks. So, yeah, this is our full-time job. I am lucky enough to have come from a banking background. The bank that I worked at is nice enough to let me come back, and so our weeks that we're home, I go play banker for 2-3 days during the week and get to put on a tie and a dress, pants, and mount my T-shirt and flip-flops, which is normal barbecue attire.
All right, so gun to your head, would you rather be doing the barbecue thing or the banker thing?
Barbecue thing any day, man, I'm telling you.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Mike Peters from the KCBS Barbecue Tour joining us here on the show. Mike, is there a cost associated with going out to the barbecue tour if you're at an event?
No. Well, it depends on whether there's a cost to get into the event. We'll be in Washington, D.C. at the Barbecue Battle, and I believe they charge $10 to entry to get into the event. In most of the KCBS ones, we set up and we help to do some promotions ahead of time, and most of them there's no cost to it, and we don't charge for people to come around. We do food samples and product samples and pretty much have a good time.
All right, so that's a cost only associated if there's some type of cover charge to get in, but there's not a separate cost for the KCBS Barbecue Tour, so that's a great thing. Now, yeah. Mike, I know you said you're going to be out for quite an extended period of time, but how many events are you actually going to be doing over the course of the calendar year in 2010?
Well, we'll do 25 events, and last year we got scheduled with Kingsford to go down to Talladega. That was our 26th. I think the year before we actually cooked at a contest and took the trailer out and we did a presentation too. So it's a hard thing to do both, but we've done it before.
Now, are you being provided with a cooker and a vehicle transportation, or is that something that you guys have to supply being part of the tour itself?
No, the Barbecue Society purchased the 30-foot trailer. They've got us a brand new truck this last year. This will be the second year of the truck. They provide that all to us. We do more grilling demonstrations, but the cooker that we use is a Good One smoker grill. Mm-hmm. And it's the little, we just got the new Pony Express model, and normally it's the Rodeo. So we talk about smoking. Oftentimes at an event, I'll have a couple racks of ribs smoking while we're grilling hamburgers and chicken and the things that our sponsors need to help us promote.
Now, I believe is this the second year of the tour?
This is actually the third year. Okay. The first year, I think it was 18 or 19 events. Last year was 25. This year is another 25.
Cool. And now, now that it's in its third year, you've done it, and being able to see kind of how it works from the inside out, and being kind of an integral part of this whole deal, how do you feel it's going, and is there anything that you would like to see tweaked possibly to make it better, for next year?
Well, I think we've brought it up to MMA as far as trying to do something more with the barbecuing or the smoking, the low and slow. As the sponsors need their parts and pieces, I think it can be integrated in. It's one of those things that they're the ones that are paying the bill. I'm grateful to be able to help promote KCBS on top of what those sponsors are doing. It's worked out really, really good so far. We love our the sponsors. They all fit within the genre of barbecue, which is definitely a big thing.
Mike Peters from the KCBS Barbecue Tour joining us here on the show. Mike, what are the most common questions you're getting from the attending public when you're out there doing it?
More of the grilling stuff, because everybody has a grill on their back deck, and how can they grill better? So when we do our demonstration, I mean, simple things is how to tell when your fire is hot enough. It's the people that come up that ask more questions about, man, I can smoke a nice rack of ribs. Then it's great. Have you ever tried chicken and brisket and shoulder? And let's try to get you excited about barbecue, because if we can do that, that just helps promote the cause. I think the KCBS membership has increased, 2,000-3,000 people over the last couple of years, and hopefully we had a little bit of a part to do with that.
Yeah, I was going to say, one of my next questions was that you think that the exposure barbecue and grilling has gotten over the past few years on TV has helped increase the numbers to your events.
I think so. We've had, last year, especially with the Pitmasters, we had all kinds of people come up and say, hey, we watched the Pitmaster show. Who's your favorite? Who's this? Who's that? And we've had very good responses. People have their favorites. It's I hate to say characters, but we're all characters, and they definitely have their favorites, and they're not so much favorites.
When you're talking, or when you're doing the grilling portion during these events, do you find that the conversation does lead more towards barbecue more and more, or is it still mainly focused on grilling? Because I guess that's what the majority of the people out there, the layman's of the subculture, are doing more weekend in, more weekend out.
I guess because most of the events are true barbecue events, whether it's a competition or a rib burning event where they're vending only. A lot of the stuff goes back to the barbecuing wise, the low and slow, and how do I do this? And it's funny, we always talk about, do you like your ribs falling off the bone without that's overcooked? The boiling of ribs, we've heard that before too, and it's it makes us shudder, and we say, hey, we cook this stuff all the time. Here's some suggestions. Here's some ideas. Here's some books to go read. Here's some things to help you do a better job. So it's I think the barbecuing wise, with Pitmasters and with where barbecue is going, I think that's definitely where the focus has been.
Mike Peters joining us here from the KCBS Barbecue Tour. Like you mentioned, Pitmasters. You also just briefly mentioned about the boiling ribs and how that's kind of a very top-notch sin when it comes to the subculture. But recently on Memorial Day, I guess the host or the new host of Barbecue Pitmasters Season 2, Kevin Roberts, made both of those cardinal sins.
Yeah.
One, and I guess just kind of getting your opinion since you've heard people talk about the show, do you have an opinion either way on is that guy going to be able to represent the season good? And secondarily, do you think that it was a good idea to completely depart from the format that they had in Season 1, now going into Season 2 with more of a like a Chopped or some type of barbecue Survivor?
Well, I still have yet to see the Versus series that was on tape on TV-wise. I understand it's going to be something like that. I know how in front of the camera or put on the spot, if you're not totally on your game, you're going to say some stuff that might come out wrong. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping that Myron has a way to explain to him correct way of cooking ribs and all that stuff, and I'm sure he will. I'm hoping for the best. Any time they can promote barbecue and talk about barbecue, I guess I would love to say I'd love to put myself in a position to be to maybe be a host down the road and know part of what I'm talking about, because that guy he was interesting.
Yeah, he's certainly been catching some here on the internet forums as well. We're talking with Mike Peters from the KCBS Barbecue Tour. Mike, where can people go to find out a little bit more on the tour itself?
KCBS.us and KCBStour.com, I believe, is the other site that will direct them to where we're at. But KCBS.us down in the bottom talks about the barbecue tour. We put recaps after every event, people that we've talked to, some interesting life on the road, so to speak. But we'd love to see members, see non-members, and just talking to people everywhere we go.
He's the pitmaster of Here Piggy Barbecue, and again, also part of the KCBS Barbecue Tour. He's Mike Peters. Mike, appreciate you coming on tonight, talking about the tour and how you got involved in barbecue, and continued success.
Thank you so much, Greg.
All right, take care. There he is, Mike Peters. And that website, kcbs.us, that's the KCBS website. It's the main website. I don't believe KCBS Barbecue Tour is an actual working website. I think you have to go to kcbs.us and then add a / and then go barbecue tour that way. Or hell, just do it the easy way. Google KCBS Barbecue Tour. Very easy. It comes up very quickly. So if you're going to be heading to a KCBS event and you happen to see that the tour is going to be in there, I mean, why not stop in, say hi to Mike, see what he's doing, check out some of the grilling exposés and expositions he's putting on. And if you're interested in catching some tips and tricks and techniques about more low and slow barbecue, Mike is the guy to help you. And again, he's a pit master of Here Piggy Barbecue, so he does have some type of experience behind him. He's not just talking willy-nilly out there. So again, special thanks to Mike Peters for coming on, talking about the KCBS Barbecue Tour. All right, we're going to step away and raise up Jason Day, part of the dynamic duo. It is the Barbecue Addicts, to talk about Barbecue Makes Everything Better, their new cookbook. It's out right now. Go buy it, Amazon.com. So look for that. We're going to be coming right back. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show right here on the Barbecue Central Radio Networks.
Forget going from site to site to get all your barbecue and grilling supplies and make your first and final stop at fredsmusicandbarbecue.com. In the market for a new barbecue pit, we have all the big name brands like Big Green Egg and more. As a matter of fact, Fred's is staffed by eggheads and carries all the parts and accessories for the Big Green Egg. More of a pellet head, you say? Fred's is the pellet grill superstore with grills in stock from Traeger, Green Mountain, and Country Smokers from Louisiana Grills. Fred also carries smokers from Cook Shack, Bradley, and Weber as well as a full lineup of charcoal grills. And once you're outfitted with your new smoker or grill, you'll find absolutely everything you need to make your barbecue or grilling experience a success. Fred is also the creator and distributor of Tasty Licks barbecue products, including their great line of rubs, spices, and sauces. You gotta try them. You can also get your hands on a full lineup of marinades, accessories, lump charcoal, wood chips, pellets, chunks, and even the great grilling tools from Steven Reichland of Barbecue U fame. Check Fred out on the web at fredsmusicandbbq.com or check out their fully stocked showroom in beautiful Shillington, PA.
Get in the smoke. Call 877-448-0433 to get on the air. Now, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
Welcome back, about 33 past the hour. This portion of the show brought to you by the good folks over at D-Dog's Barbecue Rubs. You know you love their rubs and sauces. Plus, they have new rubs and new sauces out that Darren was supposed to email me so I could talk competently, effectively, and efficiently on, but he didn't. So, Darren...
Get that big stuff out of here.
However, you do want to know that if you want to buy these locally, all you need to do is send them the name, address, phone number of your local barbecue store, farmer's market, or grocery store, and D-Dogs will take care of the rest. Email that info at Darren@ddogsbbq.com, D-A-R-I-N, Darren@ddogsbbq.com. If you're not afraid of shipping charges, just go ahead and hit up the website, ddogsbbq.com. It's D-Dogs BBQ. It's better than ketchup. All right, on the heels of what is a wild calorie success known as the Bacon Explosion, they've penned a cookbook called Barbecue Makes Everything Better, and we'll go ahead and race over to the hotline. Joining me now is half of the dynamic duo that is the Barbecue Addicts. It's Jason Day. Jason, welcome back to the show. How are you, buddy?
Pretty good, Greg. Thanks for having me on. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for making time out. I know you're flying around the world doing all sorts of Bacon Explosion and Barbecue Addict stuff. So, again, appreciate you making time to come on and talk about the book. Before we get into that, Jason, why don't you give us a little update on the Bacon Explosion, how it's selling for you guys, and I guess from what I understand at the website, you've added a few more twists to the product's portfolio.
We have. We, based on some of the feedback we've been receiving from our customers, we went ahead and added a couple more flavors. We have a jalapeno and a cheese now, and then we've also added a pig porter carrying case to the line of Bacon Explosion, so that way you can carry your Bacon Explosion or even your homemade fatties around, keep them warm, keep them chilled. It's a nice neoprene pig-shaped fatty carrying case.
Sounds outstanding.
So, it is. It's good. We're having a lot of fun with it. It's a nice little item.
So when... When does the public, or what is the threshold that needs to be met by the public to demand that Bacon Explosion be vaulted into a new flavor? Like if I wanted to say I want cheddar cheese and something else, how many other Centralites would have to flood in with requests before you would add that to the offering?
Well, that's a good question. I wouldn't say there's a definitive number on it, but if we get enough requests and we test it out and think that it's worthy of rolling it out to the general public, we'd definitely do it. Just from all the fatties we've made in the past, peppers and cheese were the obvious ones that we've made at home. And those are the ones that people wanted. So, hey, we did it.
There you go. We're talking with Jason Day, part of the Barbecue Addicts, and the website is bbqaddicts.com. All right, so Jason, you and Aaron go ahead on the heels of the Bacon Explosion success. Pen and, you strike a book deal a little bit ago, and now available for sale all over the world and the country and all this great stuff. All the entities. Barbecue Makes Everything Better is the title of the book. First off, what can a potential consumer expect to find in this effort? And I guess more importantly, as a pre-question to that, where did you come up with the name of the book?
Well, the name of the book is basically our feeling. Barbecue makes everything better. We live a barbecue lifestyle. We infuse it into everything we do, and that's our creed. Barbecue makes everything better. So it was only fitting that we titled the book that, and we carried that theme throughout the entire book. But what you can expect from the book, it's obviously got Bacon Explosion in it. It was the recipe to put us on the map. So we did a little more a detailed version, some tips and tricks, get you a little more detail as to how you can make the Bacon Explosion at home if you've never done it before. It's pictured on the cover, but we've also got an array of recipes that span from side dishes all the way up to main courses. They're grilled, they're smoked, there's adaptations for the oven. So it's really it spans the spectrum, and even from the novice all the way up to the professional. There's material in there for everybody.
I think what I found also extra special about this book is not only is it covered with lots of recipes and some good anecdotal stories behind those, but you kind of have this members-only portion if you buy the book as well.
Yeah, that's correct. We launched with the book an online forum on barbecueaddicts.com, and with the book comes a password to gain access to a specific area of the forum dedicated solely to the book, where people can share recipes. I'm posting my photos of when my wife and I make these at home, and she takes all sorts of great photos, and just a way for people to interact and say, hey, we tried this recipe, but we like it better with, we tweaked it in this way. Just an online community dedicated to the recipes that we had in the book. Kind of a little exclusive group comes with the purchase of the book.
Jason Day from the Barbecue Addicts joining us here on the show, talking about the book Barbecue Makes Everything Better. Jason, do you have a favorite recipe? I guess holding Bacon Explosion, which has to be your heart favorite, seeing as the success that it's garnered you guys. But do you have another favorite recipe in that book that you care to share with us?
There's actually a lot of recipes in that book that I make regularly. That was kind of the whole premise of we want to put real food that we eat all the time in there. I'm kind of right now on this wood-fired pizza kick where I've converted my Weber kettle with a Big Green Egg pizza stone into this pizza making machine. So I'm partial to the burnt-in pizza recipe right now that's in there. But my mood, I grill and barbecue everything, so my mood changes. I could be tomorrow I'll be the steak wrapped shrimp, or the next night be over onto the Captain Morgan infused pork ribs. So. They're all delicious.
Is there a lot of work going into the book? I've talked to a number of authors that have done multiple books, so I would imagine at this point it's kind of secondhand to them, that being like a Ted Reeder or a Ray Lampe or a Chris Lilly, these guys that obviously have a lot of management behind them, a lot of experience behind them as well, putting these things together. Was it a lot of workload, more than you anticipated when you and Aaron took this?
We really had no clue what we were getting ourselves into with this whole book thing. We're kind of approached with the idea and thought, what, let's do it. Let's run with it. We're confident in the recipes that we cook and make and share, and thought it would be a fun project to take on. One thing that we didn't do is we did not hire a ghostwriter. We actually wrote every single word that's inside that book ourselves, and it turned out to be an extremely large amount of work. The recipes was the easy part, but going in, filling in all the head notes and the footnotes and the editing process and the production value behind a book is tremendous, and having insight into that. I have a huge respect on these guys for these guys who do this all the time. I mean, and from my opinion, the food part was easy, but the production value, I mean, it's the people that do this all the time are, they put some serious effort into these guys.
Would you consider hiring a ghostwriter for the next effort?
I don't think I would, actually. I think, that was part of the fun. It was a lot of work, definitely going through and kind of figuring all that out. But now that I know kind of the routine, how everything goes, I mean, I really enjoy it. I like my voice and my message coming across in my own words, and I don't think I'd have it any other way. I definitely would continue in the same manner.
Jason Day from Barbecue Addicts joining us here on the show. Again, the website is bbqaddicts.com. If you like Twitter and you'd like to follow tweets, at bbqaddicts, Jason is Jason's handle on Twitter. So, Jason, obviously you guys are competing as well. The Burt Fingers barbecue sauce and rub doing very well. When are you guys going to be out next on the competition trail? Where are you going to be competing at?
We're going to be, in a couple weeks, we're going to be at the Great Lenexa Barbecue Battle in Lenexa, Kansas. That's our next stop. And then right now we don't have any scheduled throughout the heat of summer, but we're gonna sprinkle in a couple smaller ones leading up to the big contest at the end of the year. We just don't have any firm plans yet. But the Great Lenexa Barbecue Battle will definitely be that one. That's
really kind of a very long story tradition barbecue competition. Do you have special connection to that? Would you like to win that one more than some other competitions, or you win whatever you could get into?
I'd just be happy to win anything we get into. Anytime we go out, we have fun cooking, but it's always rewarding to walk out with some sort of award at the end. We're from Kansas City, and majority of the contests that we cook are in the Kansas City area. It would be great to be able to win one of these legendary contests. I mean, we've pretty much only cooked larger contests this year. I mean, we went down to Arkansas for Smoke on the Water. We did the Great American. Now we're doing Lenexa. So, I mean, it would be an honor to win any of those. They're all huge, very, very respectable contests, pulling the best teams in the country. So,
what's the best place people can go to grab a copy of Barbecue Makes Everything Better?
Barbecue Makes Everything Better right is being sold anywhere books are being sold. They're in retail stores like Barnes & Noble, Borders, and then Amazon has them online. We're actually selling autographed copies on the website, so if you want to personalize one directly from Aaron and I, you can order it off of bbqaddicts.com/book, or if you just go to the homepage, there's a nice buy our logo you can click on, and we'll personally sign it, address it however you'd like, and send one to you. But yeah, they're all great venues to buy the book, and we'd love to hear feedback in the members forum and see how people are using the recipes and feeding them to their families. I know that we definitely put a lot of work into it, and would love to hear people's thoughts.
This is Jason Day from the Barbecue Addicts, half of the dynamic duo that is the Barbecue Addicts, well known for the Bacon Explosion. Barbecue Makes Everything Better is the book, and Jason just laid out where you can get your hands on a copy. Again, their website, bbqaddicts.com, for a personal edition of Barbecue Makes Everything Better. And again, you can follow Jason on Twitter at bbqaddicts. Jason is his handle. Jason, appreciate you coming on tonight. Again, I know you're busy, but appreciate you laying out and telling us about the book. And continued success to you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right, take care. There he is. Jason Day, ladies and gentlemen. Barbecue Addicts on the Bacon Explosion causes it. $5,000, 5,000 calories of pork and bacon and crispy bacon and cheese. That alarm's for your heart because you're going to have a heart attack after you eat it. Heels of Success, now with a book. It's great stuff. Hey, that alarm means that the LA Talk Radio is cutting off, so head on over to the Barbecue Central Radio Networks to pick up the rest of the hour for the 4-segment free-for-all. And for the second hour after dark as well, Conrad Haskins is going to be joining us. Gary Notley will be joining us. So will Clint Cantwell for Pitmasters 2, breaking it down point counterpoint. That was Jason Day from the Barbecue Addicts. bbqaddicts.com. Barbecue Makes Everything Better is the book. We're going to come back after the break and do a little 4-segment free-for-all. Frog mats, barbecue hooks, spices and rubs, all these various cornucopia of prizes to win. 877-448 877-448-0433. 877-448-0433. Call in now to win. We'll be right back. Centralites, you having marriage troubles? Your kid's unruly and don't listen? Then you need the Ribolator, because great barbecue will always bring the family together, and the Ribolator always cooks great award-winning barbecue. You can try it free for 30 days, and if your family life doesn't improve, just send it back. Ribolator even pays return shipping. But you need to take that first step. Visit Ribolator.com to get started or call 206-999-0962. Don't you deserve a happy barbecue family?
Introducing Cosmos Q. Cosmos injections and marinades use only the finest ingredients, and they mix easily, never clotting or caking. From our beef injection to our pork injection, you're guaranteed to wow your friends, family, and judges. And don't forget to check out our newest marinade, Cosmos Chicken Soak, for that moist and tender chicken you're gonna love. You can find all of Cosmos award-winning products at CosmosQ.com. Cosmos Q, the new generation. Taste the difference. Sometimes it's all about the free stuff. Call now to win something succulent.
Big name interviews, advice on cooking brisket and ribs, and the only host willing to share his honest opinion on all things important in the world of barbecue. It's the Barbecue Central Show.
Welcome back. About 10 till the hour. 8:50. Coming up till the top of 9 o'clock here. This portion of the show brought to you by the Ribolator. Hey, did you know that Bob Garnash finished third place overall out of 33 teams at the Bellevue, Washington competition a few weeks ago using the Ribolator? Oh, yeah, that's right. It wins in competitions. You know who else is using them in competitions? Butcher Barbecue, Plowboys, a number of other teams and judges have ordered them up as well. Now it's your time to do it. Get the ring, motor, spit rod, and Ribolator for $240. Try it free for 30 days. Info at Ribolator.com. Let's go ahead and play the fourth segment free-for-all. Hey, everybody. Harry Carey here. Hey. Glad to be back. Happy to have me back again, I'm sure. Gotta grab my questions. Here's how we play the game, folks. I'm gonna go to the phones here in a second. I'm gonna ask you 3 questions of your choice, barbecue or not barbecue. And then you have 5 seconds to answer each question. The more you get right, the more you have a chance to win a fabulous prize at your discretion. Okay, let's race to the phones. Oh, what happened? That was crazy. Look, people, if you're going to call in and pick up, you're going to have to stay on the phone. There's a lot of things that are happening here. The original host has to do live reads for sponsors. You call in during commercials, what do you expect is going to happen? You're going to have to wait. Bills need to be paid, people. I'm dead, no, I know that. All right, so you can call in 877-448-0433. BBQ Central Radio at gmail.com. This is the email address. I'm looking for the prize list. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. I have it right here. Tonight, you have the opportunity to win barbecue hooks from bbqhooks.com. You know what their motto is, don't you? I say it right here. If you're not hooking, wait, what? If you're not cooking unless you're hooking. That's outrageous. I've never heard such a blasphemous show logo ever in my life. You're not cooking unless you're hooking. What are we talking about here? Barbecue or grilling or prostitution? Outrageous. Harry Carey's offended. I'm not easily offended either. That's why my friends call me Whiskers. It's not painful. I don't care what you say, lady. It's not painful. 877-448-0433 is the number to call in. You can call in, win all sorts of free stuff. Answer some real easy questions. And there you go. It's fun. No investment at all on your part. Hey, did you see this? I was just reading this the other day, getting ready for the show. Figured I'd have some show prep just in case this went south. In Portland, Oregon,
A prestigious pig cook-off at the Governor Hotel on Sunday night was followed by at least 2 headbuttings and a fist fight outside the Old Town Joint Strip Club. What? What are we doing out here? We talking pig? Or are we going to the strip joint and doing headbutts? Portland police were called to the breakup of a rumble. A rumble? Was it 1955? Is it the Jets and the Sharks and the Bronx? Mexicans are coming. Let's fight the white kids. Never mind. It's one of my favorite musicals of all time. I highly recommend it. West Side Story. Go get it. I love it. Maria. I just met a girl. Oh, Maria. Anyway, they had to go break up this rumble, which sent a renowned chef and the event organizer to jail. And one had been pepper sprayed and the other one had been tased. Look, Eric Terry's going to tell you one thing. I'm not going to get mixed up in a fight and have the police come and then continue to be belligerent and resisting arrest. Those officers are ready to tase at a moment's notice. And quite honestly, between you and me, my old ticker can't take a tase to the heart of it, if you know what I mean. All right, forget about it. Let's go ahead and go to the phone line. Here we go. Barbecue Central Show, 4-segment free-for-all. Who's this?
Noel.
Who?
Noel.
Hi, Noel. How are you? Noel, would you like to play the 4-segment free-for-all?
Yeah.
Barbecue questions or not barbecue questions?
Barbecue questions.
All right, here we go, Noel. Give me the name of my first guest tonight.
Oh, I just tuned in. I don't know.
Hey, no. Maybe you should know the name of my first guest tonight if you're going to fall into the 4-segment free-for-all. Just a word to the wise. Okay, 4-segment free-for-all. Who's this?
This is Katie.
Hi, Katie. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Quite lively.
Yes, I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
All right. Do you want to play the game?
Yeah.
Barbecue questions or not barbecue questions?
I'm going to go for not barbecue questions.
Okay, not barbecue questions. Here we go. Question number 1. Name one team currently in the NBA playoffs.
The Knicks.
The Knicks. Hey, Katie. Maybe you should know who's playing in the NBA playoffs right now if you're going to call into the 4-segment free-for-all and win a free prize. Just a word to the wise. The Knicks. The Knicks haven't been in the playoffs in 15 years. I think the Chicago Cubs have been in the NBA playoffs prior to the New York Knicks being in, for crying out loud. They're terrible. I'm not even going to give you the correct answer, Katie. You turn on Channel 3, for crying out loud. They're playing right now. 877-448-0433. We got 1 or 2 minutes left. Oh, yes. Where'd my pig story go? People headbutting, tasering governors about pigs and porno. Here it is. This was all over a pig, by the way. Eric Beckart, the heralded young chef behind Thistle in McKinley, confronted Brad Lowe. Oh, wait a second. Here we go. Barbecue Central Show. Who's this?
Hey, it's Diva.
Hi, Diva. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you? Hello?
Hello?
What can I do for you?
Are you still doing the free-for-all?
Yes. Would you like barbecue questions or not barbecue questions?
I'll take barbecue questions.
Okay, here we go. Term for taking the backbone out of a chicken. Sounds dirty.
Spatchcocking.
That's right. That sounds... Say it again. I'm just kidding.
Spatchcocking.
Second question. What's the process of adding moisture to chicken or poultry?
Brining.
That's right. You're on your game tonight, Diva. I'm very impressed. Okay, third question. Are you excited?
About what?
For winning the prize. This is the third question, Diva. Get on your game.
Absolutely.
Okay, here we go. I know I am. Whole packer refers to what cut of meat?
Brisket.
That's right. Diva, you're one smart lady. I don't care what the rest of the people say. All right, what do you want to win tonight? You want a barbecue hook? You want some rub? You want some Cosmos Q? You name it.
I want the hooks.
Hook's coming your way. Go ahead and send me the shipping info, Diva, and we'll get them hooked right up to you. No pun intended, of course.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good night. Thanks for calling in. I gotta go.
All right, that was Harry Carey with the 4-segment free-for-all. Oof. I think I heard somebody say that the Knicks were in the playoffs. Did I hear that in the green room, Harry? Harry always running away after the 4-segment. It's like he's so excited to be here, and then something happens during the segment. He's always running away. I don't get it. All right, thanks to my guest tonight, KCBS Barbecue Tour, Mike Peters, kcbs.us for more information. And also wanted to thank my 3rd segment guest, Jason Day from the Barbecue Addicts, talking about the new book, Barbecue Makes Everything Better. There we go. All right. Oh, by the way, check him out. Barbecue Makes Everything Better. bbqaddicts.com. We're going to step away briefly. We'll come back with Conrad Haskins talking about the Rock City Rib Fest Reserve Grand Championship win. Segment after that, Gary Notley and Clint Cantwell talking about Season 2 of Barbecue Pitmasters, their views, point, counterpoint, Willie. Stick around. We'll be right back.